Keep it going, keep it going.
Thank you. All right, thanks so much. It is September 26th, 2014, and I'm getting ready for bed. I'm pumping myself up to break up with the boyfriend that I hate. Don't act like you haven't been there. So I'm pumping myself up because I've never broken up with anybody before. And so I'm just like, but you know what? Enough is enough. I've got to do it. Tomorrow I'm going to call him for coffee. I'm going to call it off. It'll be fine. At 2 a.m., my phone is ringing and ringing and ringing. And I pick up. It's my mom. And she tells me that my dad has gone into cardiac arrest. She asks me to get on the first flight home to Memphis. When I walk into the hospital, I see my dad in his bed, and I know that this is it. And I'm already kind of in a, bless you, I'm already in a state of mourning, and the first thing that comes to mind is to just start rattling off apologies to my dad. I say sorry for every time that I could not make him proud. Like when we went to college, I was a huge bitch the whole way on the ride to college. And like when he came to visit New York, I said, you can't have papaya dogs because they shorten your life. And now I know that doesn't matter, you know? And so I just keep apologizing for thing after thing after thing. And I think that he's gonna wake up and look at me and say, it's okay, I'm here. But I also know that that's just not happening. There's no brain activity. He is gone. And my dad's mother, my ama, my Taiwanese grandmother, that makes me a white Asian, don't think about it too much. And my Taiwanese grandmother, she's handling it completely differently than I am. She stands up and she announces, I'm a healer, which we have never heard before. And she's on the phone with this woman in Texas. We'll call her a witch because that's what she is. And this witch is giving her all these spells for us to do. And all of a sudden we're all doing witchcraft. We're printing symbols on computer paper and hanging it in the windows of our house. We're taking my dad's clothes and we're hanging them in the trees in the yard. We are taking water and praying over it at the Mexican restaurant where he collapsed. And we're doing all of this stuff, and eventually my mom is exhausted. And she says, hey, we've got to stop. Enough is enough. We have to stop. And my grandmother says, you're not giving miracles the time that they need to happen. And that's a good point. Like, who knows how long witchcraft takes, you know? And so, like, as it would turn out, she has one last spell for us, and my mom, and it has to be my mom has to take my dad's pee and bury it in our yard with broken glass. And so I wait for my mom to scream at my grandmother, like, absolutely not, but instead I watch her get up and go home, and she takes, well, first she asks the nurse for my dad's catheter bag, so she takes the catheter bag urine home and she buries it in the yard with a shovel with a broken light bulb. And she comes back to the hospital and it doesn't work, you know, it doesn't work, and we have to take my dad off of life support eventually, and there's a funeral, and don't forget, this is a breakup story. My boyfriend comes to the funeral. And of course, everybody fucking loves him, you know? Like, I'm dating him for a reason, right? And so everybody loves him, and everyone's so excited to meet him. And my grandmother is like, when are you gonna marry this guy? And, you know, I started to have some doubt. I was like, you know, maybe I was wrong for wanting to break up with him, you know? Maybe he is the right guy. But then I couldn't forget what I had seen that week. And I'm not talking about my dad dying. I'm talking about the pee thing, okay? Because I know I would never do that for my boyfriend. What my mom did that day was real, true love. And I knew that the longer I stayed with this guy, the longer that was going to keep me from meeting the person that I would do that for. And maybe I would never meet that person. Like, I know that's not guaranteed. I'm married now, so you know I did. But I know now that if you are not willing to engage in a little bit of piss play, then he just ain't the one, all right? Thank you so much.
That's Bailey, everybody.